What's up, guys? I'm Josh Mosman, and welcome to This Week in MXA, episode number 78, presented to you by O'Neill Racing. Thank you for tuning in to this video. Let's dive into the latest happenings in the industry and what the MXA Wrecking Crew is up to. We had High Point Racing this past weekend in Pennsylvania, and we had a fourth new winner in the 450 class, Eli Tomac. He finished fourth at Paula, third at Hangtown, second at Thunder Valley, and finally he gets a win, making it 4 riders winning 4 different races in the 450 class. Pretty impressive. Sexton, Roxon, Anderson, and Tomac now are all winners in the 450 division, and it looked like it was going to be another Sexton show after that first moto, after he just pulled away from the pack. But in Moto 2, Eli Tomac turned on the afterburners, and really a lot of guys did. Ryan Dungey was one rider that turned on the afterburners in Moto 2 at High Point. The track looked brutal and gnarly, but it was so fun to see the battles and just the intense racing that was going on at the front of the pack in the 450 class at High Point. But really cool to see Eli Tomac on the gas on his new Yamaha. Eli Tomac, he's a winner, and he is now 14 points behind Chase Sexton in the championship. So he didn't actually gain any points on Chase Sexton this weekend, as Chase won the first moto, Eli finished second. Eli won the second moto, Chase finished second in that one. So they stayed tied on points. Now the series has got 1 weekend off, and before they start back up again at Redbud in 2 weeks. Ken Roxon, though, I do want to touch on just how good that guy is on the opening laps of races. Ryan Dungey got the whole shot, which was super cool to see. I think everybody was pumped to see Dungey not only coming out of retirement, but then battling at the front and putting the other guys, giving them a run for their money, that's for sure, in that second moto. Ken Roxon, it was impressive to see just making a pass on Chase Sexton where there was no track, there was no lines, there was really no opportunity, but those opening laps, Ken Roxon is extremely fast. Ryan Dungey, like I said, it's very exciting to see him fighting up front. I think everybody appreciates that, and it's just cool to see somebody retired for 5 seasons and then comes out and runs up front. Pretty cool. The 250 class was another Lawrence Brothers show, with Jet taking the win again and Hunter Lawrence finishing second. Exciting stuff from the Lawrence Brothers. I know they get a ton of press from every motocross media outlet, and especially the TV promoters and people on TV covering the races, but those guys deserve it, man. They have impeccable technique, and it's just fun to see 2 brothers racing at the front of the pack. I'm partial to even like them more than most people, I would say, because I'm a brother that races, and my brother races as well. So even though they're racing against my brother, Michael Mosman, I'm still a fan of the Lawrence Brothers, and it's cool to see those two, and it's really impressive to see that those two could rise to the top of the cream of the crop, the top of the class in the 250 class so far this season, and keep going 1 and 2 on the podium. My brother did have some great speed in the first moto going to the front of the pack, but unfortunately tipped over, and he would finish 4th overall on the day at High Point. Joe Shimoda finished in 2nd. Impressive stuff on a gnarly High Point national track this weekend. All right, guys, I also wanted to answer a hot topic that people have been asking me. Some people have been saying, hey, KTM's robbing Antonio Karoli because they're not paying him to race the AMA Nationals, but that's simply not true. We reached out to KTM and asked them, and basically they said they didn't give us any numbers of how much they're paying him or how much they're paying him in comparison to other riders, but they did say that he's well paid to be a KTM ambassador, and he did have a bonus program based on how he finished at the AMA Nationals. So Karoli is on a plane back to Italy. He's headed back there for now. He twisted his knee in the first moto at High Point, and that gave him a bad gate pick for the second moto. He pulled out of both races, so that was unfortunate to see. It's been awesome having the 9-time MXGP World Champion racing here in the States. The fans have loved it. I've loved it. It's been awesome to see, and just great to see MXGP riders continuing to come over and ride the AMA Nationals. So rumors that he wasn't getting paid, according to KTM, he was, and hopefully we'll see him back. We know he wants to race the Redbud Motocross of Nations later this year for Team Italy. He wants to run the #1 plate, as they were the champions last year. So him racing this summer and racing nationals here in the States is helping him stay fresh, stay up to date, stay relevant, and being able to line up and race again for Motocross of Nations. So hopefully we see him back sooner than later. Hopefully his knee is okay, and good stuff from KTM and Karoli. Last week's video, we talked to Shane McElrath, who is continuing to fight for his ride on the Rockstar Husqvarna team. He had a fill-in ride for 4 rounds. Now it sounds like he will be definitely racing the Redbud National coming up in a week and a half. Dean Wilson, though, is back on the bike. He posted on Instagram that he's back riding, which is awesome to see, and it's cool to see that Dean Wilson is planning on being back at some of the nationals this season. So we don't know if Malcolm Stewart, what his plans are for the rest of the summer. I would assume he won't be lining up at the Nationals as he continues to recover from a knee injury. And that seems like Rockstar Husky would keep Shane McElrath on the team for the rest of the season, but I think only time will tell as he continues to progress and as Dean Wilson continues to gain speed, gain health, and strength back on the bike. All right, guys, I want to talk about the Erzberg Rodeo, the hard enduro this past weekend over in Austria. It was crazy racing, and we don't normally touch on enduro or off-road stuff too much in our MXA videos, but this time we're going to touch on it because some wild stuff happened. First, they had GNCC champion KTM rider Caleb Russell go out there, and he actually won the prologue, the qualifying race on Saturday, which set him up with a lot of press and a lot of eyeballs on him going into Sunday's event. But it wasn't Caleb Russell that took the win. It was Manuel Lettenbichler, Manny Lettenbichler, that won for Red Bull KTM, and he actually became the first father-son duo. Andreas, the dad, and Manny, the son, are the first father-son duo to both win the Erzberg Hard Enduro. Andreas actually won the race back in 2015, and this was when there was actually 4 winners, 4 different riders tied for the win at Erzberg. And what it happened basically was that they all needed to help each other get up this massive hill. And because they all helped each other cross the line, neither of them wanted to take the win. So they all crossed it. It was Andreas Lettenbichler, Johnny Walker, Alfredo Gomez, and Graham Jarvis that all tied for the win back then. Andreas, Manny's dad, was 40 years old. Now Manny, at 24 years old, is also a winner at the same race. And another fun note, Manny is actually the youngest rider to ever complete the Erzberg race. He completed it at 16 years old. So wild stuff. Caleb Russell finished 73rd, and he crossed the 17th checkpoint of 27 before the race was over, and that was the end of his race. We also have one more gnarly story I got to share from the Erzberg Rodeo. Brandon Petrie posted on Instagram that he had to do some wild stuff to keep his Sherco racing through the race. I'll read his Instagram and show you guys photos of it. He said, "What a crazy experience. Third row start wasn't ideal. Had to fight through massive bottlenecks and push as hard as I could. Only a few minutes in, I got a hole in my radiator hose and ran the bike dry. Thinking my race was done, I was able to patch it with one of the course arrows, and amazingly, it held the entire race. From there, I gave it everything I had, even having to stop and throw up for a bit on a hill. Ended up almost making it to checkpoint 21 in Carl's dinner, but with 10 minutes left, my chain broke and that was it. Ended up 44th, but leaving with a smile on my face and very grateful I had this opportunity." Pretty crazy stuff that Brandon was able to patch his radiator hose, somehow get some water to fill it back up, and continue his race. Crazy stuff from Erzberg. We also have videos of rocks flying down hills and hitting riders. Erzberg is a gnarly race. Like I mentioned, I like racing. I like challenges, but I don't know if I'd ever want to do that one. That one looks gnarly. Also, speaking of Sherco 300 two-strokes and apparently their durability and reliability, we have a little promotion we're doing with Sherco where we're actually giving away, or Sherco's giving away, a 2023 SE 300 factory edition race bike from Cody Webb, a Sherco factory rider. 2-stroke factory race bike. This thing looks pretty trick, and reading through the information, all you have to do is submit your name, email, zip code, phone number, and your birthday, and you can get signed up to win that factory bike. I don't know a ton about Sherco 2-strokes, but apparently Brandon Petrie was able to finish, or at least get super far at Erzberg with one after patching up the radiator hoses. Cody Webb, he's a great rider. I've known him for a long time, and he switched from a few different brands, one of them being factory KTM, over to Sherco, and he's liking it over there. So if you guys want to win that bike, click the link in our YouTube description or on our website, motocrossactionmag.com, in the description underneath the video. All right, guys, Mammoth Motocross is going on right now up in Northern California. It's one of my favorite races of the year. When I was an amateur rider, I love the scenery there. I love the track there, and always had a lot of fun at Mammoth. MXA's Dennis Stapleton, he was there last Friday for practice day for the vet weekend. He got us a really cool GoPro preview of the track. It was vet racing last weekend, mini bike racing right now. Mitch Payton is up there jetting 2-strokes for mini bikes, and then big bike racing is this weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And one big piece of news, Trey Kennard, the HRC Honda test rider, is going to be racing up there in the 450 Pro class, Open Pro Sport class, and the 250 Pro class. Pretty cool stuff. So I talked to my buddy Trey Kennard. You know, obviously everybody knows his racing accomplishments from over the years. Now he's transitioned into a test rider role at Honda, and Honda has been on a roll lately. So great job, Trey Kennard, and the testing and R&D department over at HRC Honda, as they've been podiums in the 450 class, podiums in the 250 class, and they're also the only brand that doesn't have an injured rider right now. Everybody else has somebody injured, but Honda's riders are healthy and they're doing really well. Trey Kennard is going to be racing this weekend. Exciting stuff. He said that the team was already going to Mammoth to help out their amateur rider, Chance Hymas. So they figured, why not go do some testing as well? If you guys remember, when Jeremy McElrath rode for Honda back in the day, he actually went up there and raced the amateur race at Mammoth. So Jeremy McElrath's done it. Now Trey Kennard is going back and doing it. It's going to be fun to watch and see how Trey Kennard does against his Honda teammate, but also against the rest of the guys that are going to be racing in the pro class this weekend. Honda was battling at the front last weekend for the vet classes. The 30 plus A class was dominated by Cole Martinez, SLR Honda off-road rider, who's stepping into moto for a little bit right now during the summer, while the off-road racing series is on a break. Cole Martinez went 1-1 on Saturday, and Josh Grant went 1-1 on Sunday. So those guys were just battling back and forth. So lots of Hondas up in Mammoth right now doing well, and it's going to be fun to watch and keep up with results from Mammoth this weekend. Man, now I want to go race Mammoth. Hopefully I can race up next year, maybe. Get the mice running in the old brain. All right, guys, thank you for tuning into this video. That's all we have for today. For more videos, you can check out our YouTube channel. Click the notification button to get an update whenever we release a new video. We just uploaded our 2022 Kawasaki KX112 Super Mini test on our YouTube channel, and we got more videos there too. Check them out. Thanks for tuning in.